Okay, let's go.
All right, let's talk about something really important today. We're going to dive into the mental game of trading. We're tackling that brutal question, why do most traders actually fail? We've looked at what the experts say, and let me tell you, the answer has nothing to do with your charts or your strategy. So, why is it that so many smart, dedicated people just hemorrhage money in the markets? If you're watching this, I'm willing to bet you've asked yourself that exact question. You put in the hours, you do the research, but something just isn't clicking. Well, the answer might be a lot closer to home than you think. So let's just get right into it. The real reason that most traders fail isn't about finding some kind of magic indicator or a secret, foolproof strategy. The single biggest obstacle? It's inside your own head. This analogy, it says it all, doesn't it? Think of your trading strategy like a really, really sharp knife. In the hands of a master chef, it's an incredible tool. You can create a masterpiece. But in the hands of someone who has no idea what they're doing, it's just dangerous. The knife isn't the problem. It's the mindset of the person holding it. And this is the absolute crux of it. Success in trading doesn't come from finding a better tool. It comes from an internal transformation. You could have the greatest strategy in the entire world, but if your mindset is working against you, it's completely useless. So, what does this internal transformation actually look like? Well, let's compare the two mindsets you find in the market. I mean, the difference between them is like night and day. Okay, over on the left, you've got this struggling mindset. You probably know this person. They're always searching for that holy grail strategy, jumping from one YouTube video to the next, thinking the next indicator is going to be the one. They absolutely hate stop losses. It feels like failure. It feels like they were wrong. They're in it for the excitement, the action. But when a trade goes bad, oh, it's always the market's fault, never theirs. Now, look at the right. The successful mindset is playing a totally different game. They get that a strategy is just a tool, nothing more. And get this, they celebrate stop losses. Yeah, you heard me right. They see it as a smart business expense that protects their capital. They know that good, profitable trading is actually kind of boring, and that's okay. And most importantly, they take 100% ownership for every single result, good or bad. So the big question is, how do you get from the left side of that screen to the right? It's a conscious journey. It's a path of transformation. And it's so important because, believe it or not, our natural human instincts are pretty much our worst enemies when it comes to the market. This right here, this is the fundamental conflict. Our brains are literally wired for immediate emotional reactions. Fear when we see red on the screen, greed when we see green. But a successful trader has to be disciplined, objective, and think in probabilities. To win at this game, you literally have to go to war with your own human nature. So the path kind of breaks down into 3 stages. First, you've got to actively unlearn all those gut reactions, those default habits. Second, you have to retrain your brain to see the market for what it is, not a series of sure things, but a constant flow of probabilities. And third, this journey never really ends. It's a constant process of learning through self-awareness and understanding what makes you tick. Let's talk about those emotional triggers. It all starts with what we can call basic emotions. You know, feeling a little sting of disappointment after a loss or a little rush of excitement after a win. That's fine. It's perfectly normal. You're human. These feelings pop up and then they go away. They aren't the real problem. The real danger starts when you grab onto those basic emotions and you don't let go. When you meditate on them, when you let them brew, they start to fester. They combine and morph into something way, way worse, complex emotions. That initial sting of disappointment turns into this deep, gut-wrenching regret. That little bit of frustration boils over into pure rage. And that's the tipping point. That's where rational thinking goes to die. And this is the destructive result. That overwhelming desire to get back at the market, to win back what you just lost right now. Revenge trading is driven purely by those complex emotions, and let me tell you, it's one of the fastest ways to absolutely incinerate a trading account. So, how do we actually put this into practice? A massive part of this mental transformation is simply about reframing how you think about the most basic tools of the trade. For most struggling traders, this is exactly what a stop loss feels like. It's a big, fat F on their report card. It's a sign that they were wrong, that they failed. This super negative feeling creates fear. And that fear often leads to traders doing the worst thing possible, moving their stop loss. But what if you saw it completely differently? A transformed mindset doesn't see a stop loss as a brick wall. It sees it as a traffic light. Think about it. A red light isn't the end of your journey, is it? It's just a signal to pause. You wait for conditions to be right, and then you proceed again. It's a protective measure, not a punishment. And this phrase just hits the nail on the head. It's such a simple shift in language, but it is incredibly powerful. You didn't lose. You made a conscious, disciplined choice to stop a trade that wasn't going according to your plan. That's an act of control, not an act of defeat. So once you've started to reframe your tools and you're on this path of transformation, what's the destination? What does it all lead to? Well, it's about building an elite mindset, one that can operate coolly and calmly under pressure. When it comes to the moment of truth, the second you actually execute a trade that's part of your plan, what's the ideal amount of emotion you should have? 0. Zilch, nada. The plan is made, the research is done, the execution itself should be purely mechanical, based on rules and data, not on hope and fear. Think about the world's most incredible buildings, the Burj Khalifa, for example. Could you build something that precise, that massive, something that has to withstand incredible forces, with emotion as your guide? Of course not. It's a ridiculous idea, right? Building anything elite, whether it's a skyscraper or a trading career, requires the exact opposite of emotion. It needs a strong foundation of knowledge. It needs a precise structure of rules. Your trading plan is your blueprint. And it demands a total commitment to cold, hard data and facts above everything else. And this really brings it all full circle. The discipline you have, the habits you've built, the mindset you bring to your everyday life, it's all going to show up in your trading. It's a mirror. If you can't stick to a diet or a workout plan, you are going to struggle to stick to a trading plan. It's all connected. So, the final question for you isn't about your charts or your strategy. If your trading is just a reflection of your life, then improving as a trader really means improving as a person. The transformation starts with you. So let me ask, what will you transform first?